Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge, text 13. cātur-varṇyaṁ mayā sṛṣṭaṁ guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ tasya kartāram apimāṁ viddhi akartāram avyayam cātur-varṇyaṁ mayā sṛṣṭaṁ guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ tasya kartāram apīmāṁ viddhi akartāram avyayam cātur-varṇyaṁ mayā sṛṣṭaṁ guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ tasya kartāram apīmāṁ viddhi akartāram avyayam cātur-varṇyaṁ mayā sṛṣṭaṁ guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ tasya kartāram apīmāṁ viddhi akartāram avyayam cātur-varṇyaṁ mayā sṛṣṭaṁ guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ tasya kartāram apīmāṁ akartāram avyayam. Mataji, cātur-varṇyaṁ mayā sṛṣṭaṁ guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ tasya kartāram apīmāṁ viddhi akartāram avyayam cātur-varṇyaṁ mayā sṛṣṭaṁ guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ tasya kartāram apīmāṁ viddhi akartāram avyayam. Word by word meaning. Cātur-varṇyaṁ, the four divisions of human society. Mayā, by me. sṛṣṭaṁ, created. Guṇa, of quality. Karma, and work. Vibhāgaśaḥ, in terms of division. Tasya, of that. Kartāram, the father. Api, although. Mam, me. Viddhi, you may know. Akartāram, as the nondoer. Avyayam, unchangeable. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. Please repeat. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. Purport. The Lord is the creator of everything. Everything is born of Him, everything is sustained by Him, and everything after annihilation rests in Him. He is therefore the creator of the four divisions of the social order, beginning with the intelligent class of man, technically called brāhmaṇas, due to their being situated in the mode of goodness. Next is the administrative class, technically called the kṣatriyas, due to their being situated in the mode of passion. The mercantile man, called the vaiśyas, are situated in mixed mode of passion and ignorance, and the śūdras or laborer class are situated in the ignorant mode of material nature. In spite of his creating the four divisions of human society, Lord Kṛṣṇa does not belong to any one of these divisions because he is not one of the conditioned souls, a section of whom from human society. Human society is similar to any other animal society, but to elevate man from the animal status, the above mentioned divisions are created by the Lord for the systematic development of Krishna consciousness. The tendency of a particular man toward work is determined by the modes of material nature which he has acquired. Such symptoms of life, according to the different modes of material nature, are described in the 18th chapter of this book. A person in Krishna consciousness, however, is above even the brāhmaṇas. Although brāhmaṇas by quality are supposed to know about Brahman, the supreme absolute truth, most of them approach only the impersonal Brahman manifestation of Lord Kṛṣṇa. But a man who transcends the limited knowledge of Brahman and reaches the knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, becomes a person in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, a Vaiśyṇava. Krishna consciousness includes knowledge of all different plenary expansions of Krishna, namely Ram, Narsingha, Vara, etc. And as Krishna is transcendental to the system of the four divisions of human society, a person in Krishna consciousness is also transcendental to all divisions of human society, whether we consider divisions of community, nation or species. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Śrī Guruve Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Śrī Advaita Gadadhar Śrīvāsadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we welcome everybody for this Bhagavad Gita class. This is a wonderful opportunity given to us by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada that we can discuss about Krishna and his pastimes, morning and evening. So this is a sandwich program given by Srila Prabhupada, morning program and evening program. So when we keep following this program, whether we are interested in it or we are not interested, but it works. Just by being present here to hear about the Lord, to hear the instructions of the Lord, it works on our consciousness. And this is what this shloka is talking about. The whole Varnashram is to uplift our consciousness so that we become Krishna conscious. So the whole purpose of whatever we are doing is to become Krishna conscious, nothing else. Can we stop those devotees from talking behind? I'm sorry, this is disrespect to the Lord. When somebody is discussing Krishna's katha, if you want to talk, you can go somewhere else. There is enough place in the campus. So here, Krishna says that there are four classes of men. Cātur-varṇyaṁ, mayā sṛṣṭaṁ. Varna means division of society, and Varna also means color. So like there are three main color, red, blue and yellow, and the combinations of these three makes 9, and again combination of 9 makes 81. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada writes that cātur-varṇyaṁ mayā sṛṣṭaṁ guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ. So this 84 lakh species, they are on the basis of consciousness. They are on the basis of consciousness. So then as we see, there are 4 lakh varieties of humans. So it depends on the mode of nature we are into. Goodness, passion, ignorance. So similarly this Varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Prabhupada writes in the Purport that they are following a specific mode of material nature. The Brahmanas are technically called the intelligent class. They are in the mode of goodness. The administrative class is technically called Kṣatriyas. They are in the mode of passion. The Vaiśyas are in the mixed mode of passion and ignorance. And Śūdras or the laborer class are situated in the mode of ignorance. So, the categorization is depending on our consciousness, not anything else. So it is internal actually, not external. But world over, India is criticized for the caste system. That is how it stopped. Because now somebody, Brahmana, is considered to be a very privileged person. The Śūdras are looked down upon. So it was more of a caste system than consciousness system, the one given by Kṛṣṇa. Guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ. So as per the activity we perform and as per the consciousness we are in, as per the mode of nature we are acting in, decides our varna, not our birth. But because it all started like this, so the whole system got spoiled. And now varnashram system is looked down upon as something not required. But here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself is pushing this idea. What Krishna says, cātur-varṇyaṁ mayā sṛṣṭaṁ guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ. So my creation, mayā sṛṣṭaṁ, which is created by Krishna himself, and he wants it to be working like this. Like a body, we have head, we have shoulders, we have belly and we have legs. So all this together makes the whole body. No doubt brain is important, but if there are no legs, we cannot move. If there are no hands, we cannot eat. So they all have to be working in coordination to keep the system functioning. So this is how the system was originally. But with the time passing by, the education system got changed and practically the Brahmana class and the Kshatriya class disappeared. What is left is only Vaiśyas and Śūdras. Again, it is not because they are not doing anything good, but it is because they are mostly in the mode of passion and ignorance. That is why we are categorizing them as Vaiśyas and Śūdras. The whole focal point of this shloka is Prabhupada writing in the Purport that we have to become Krishna conscious. If you are a Brahmana, but if you are not meditating on the Lord, what is the use of being a Brahmana? So the whole system is designed so that whatever we do is done for the pleasure of the Lord. Sam siddhir haritoshanam. If any activity we do is not pleasing to the Lord, if it is not for the pleasure of the Lord, it is sṛṣṭaṁ kevalam. It is just a useless effort. This is what we see today. Most of the people are engaged morning to evening, but because Krishna is not in the center, it is sṛṣṭaṁ kevalam. It is just a wasteful effort. We are wasting our time. So, the point to understand here that this Krishna consciousness movement, is to help the society to come out of this material bodily consciousness. Whatever varna you are in doesn't matter. Still you are encaged in the material body. So the Krishna consciousness movement which Srila Prabhupada started is to uplift us to a level where we start thinking that we are not a body but a spirit soul. That is the main purpose. Even if we can say this is the real purpose of varnashram system also. There everybody understands this is my duty for the Lord. I am supposed to be cleaning the temple for the Lord. I am supposed to be making garland for the Lord. I am supposed to be cooking for the Lord. I am supposed to be doing arti for the Lord. Nothing is there to glorify us. If a Brahmana performs arti, anticipating that people will praise him, then he is defeating the whole purpose of offering the arti to the Lord. Because his consciousness is to take pride. Like there was a story, there was a Brahman in a village and a prostitute. So the Brahmana, the prostitute was just staying in the opposite house. So he used to count how many people are visiting the prostitute every day. And then when he will give the class, he will blaspheme that prostitute, that today this many people came, and he used to keep talking about her sinful activities. So coincidentally, both of them gave up their body on the same day, same time. So Yamdut and Vishnudut both has to visit that village on the same day. But the Yamdut visited where? Brahman. Oh, you all know. And the Vishnudut visited the prostitute. And the Brahmana was seeing it. And he asked, address to change nahi ho gaya? Have you not changed the address? I mean, I am the Brahmin, the Vishnudut should come to me. And then the Yamdut check. No, we are supposed to pick up the Brahman only. He said, why? Say, whole your life you were puffed up. You were proud of being a Brahmana. You were criticizing this prostitute whole your life. That was the whole goal of your life. You were thinking that you are something special than others. So here the point is consciousness. Externally he was a Brahmin, but internally he was criticizing, he was thinking he is something better. That is not acceptable. On the other hand, the prostitute, she was always praying to the Lord. Oh Krishna, where have you put me in? I am doing the sinful activities every single day. But I have no choice left. I have to take care of my old parents. I have no other work. I can't maintain them. So please forgive me. Please forgive me. She was always meditating on the Lord like this. Feeling the guilt, being submissive, does not mean that what she was doing is correct. But what the point we are trying to understand from this example is that it is the consciousness which is important. It is not externally what we are doing. So, but our guna and karma are important because what you do also has impact on your consciousness. So this varna system is helping us to understand how by our inclination, what is our natural inclination, doing that natural inclination we can please the Lord. We can't change that. Like Arjuna was a kshatriya, right? But what he said, I don't want to fight. But what was his natural inclination is to fight, being a kshatriya. But when Krishna spoke the whole Bhagavad Gita, in the end he could understand that he has to fight, but for the pleasure of the Lord. Mam nusmara yuddhacha. So Krishna, in the whole Bhagavad Gita, the whole exercise was to change his consciousness from bodily platform to a spirit soul. So this is the purpose of this varna, ashram, whatever we are studying in the Shastra. That is why it is important. But it is not just to prove that I am a Brahmana, so I have a special privilege. If you are claiming that, it is defeating the whole purpose of varnashram. So, this is a class by Srila Prabhupada where Prabhupada is explaining like Brahman sons necessarily does not become a Brahmin. Like in our society we see there is a lawyer or there is a chartered accountant or there is a doctor. Does not mean that his son will become a doctor or a chartered accountant or a lawyer. So it's a common sense. If he has developed those qualities, then only he can be called a doctor or a chartered accountant. Similarly, even though somebody is born in a Brahmana family, he cannot be called a Brahmin unless and until he start acting as a Brahmin. His activities, his gunas are like a Brahman. Sama, Dhamma, Sapa, Saucham. There is in Bhagavad Gita it is given who is Brahman, who is Kshatriya, who is Vaishya, who is Shudra. All quality descriptions are given. So from that we can categorize somebody in what varna he is in. Not by birth. So this by birth system is condemned. And that is why, whenever these Britishers came, they were condemning the whole system. Because whenever they will see a Shudra, it was considered to be untouchable, and that demolishes the whole system. So here Krishna is not advocating birth. Krishna is telling guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ. So the most important question before us is what is our state of consciousness. Yam yam vapi smaran bhava. What are we thinking? In the history, people have conquered so many things. But what is left? They have to give up this body, they have to leave. They cannot continue ruling the world. So the natural function of a jiva is to do seva. That is our natural function. Any jiva, the function is to serve. So everyone without exception today, we see serving the senses. Because they have not understood that they are not this body, but a spirit soul. So we are serving senses. But now what are senses doing with us? For example, we say somebody is having a master and he is serving the master for his whole life. 60, 70 years, he is sincerely serving. Then in the end, master will say, okay, now I am retiring you. Rest of the life, I will take care of you. But look at the senses as a master of us, they are ruthless. They will not let you retire, even if you are old. They are not going to spare you even for a moment. So they are not the good master to serve in a way. That is what we have to understand. हम चाह के भी उनको छोड़ नहीं सकते हैं. If we are serving the senses for the whole life, even if you want to give it up, they will not leave you. There is no retirement plan when you serve the senses. So it is very precarious situation in the current scenario where we see everybody is busy serving the senses. Like if you go to the Western countries now, in India also, old people, they have practically left with nobody with them. So then they start serving the dogs. We hear this in many of Prabhupada lectures. They will watch televisions whole day and night, and their only company is dogs or the pet. They will have, now they have cats also, cats and dogs. But it is a very misfortunate situation that such a rare human birth is getting wasted because the whole life is spent meditating on serving the senses. So when you serve the senses, senses are very ruthless masters. They will not spare you, no retirement, no forgiving. They will keep you always engaged. You will be agitated till the end of your life. You will be frustrated and it will be very difficult to remember Krishna. Very, very difficult to concentrate on Krishna. So, it is very important that we work as our natural inclination, but keeping Krishna in the center. Griye thako, vane thako, sada hari bole dako. So, no ashram is condemned, whether you are a sannyasi or you are a grahastha. So far you are meditating on the Lord, you are on the right track. Like we have this example in Srimad Bhagavatam, Swayambhu Manu, son of Brahma, he wanted to retire from his kingdom. So he has two sons, Priyavrata and Uttanpad. But Priyavrata did not wanted to take up the kingdom. He wanted to be practicing his devotional service. So Uttanpad take the charge. Then Uttanpad had a son, Dhruva Maharaj. He condemned Dhruva. So Dhruva went for austerity in the jungle. And when he could please the Lord, he felt that, he is on the wrong track. Why is he hankering for the kingdom? When the Lord is here, he forgot everything. He said, I got diamond, I was looking for some pieces of glass. We know this story. But the important point is here, every king was retiring and giving the charge to the next. And then in the course, a time again came where there was no qualified ruler. So again Swayambhu Manu approached Priyavrata. So Priyavrata was staying with Naradji, and Naradji, we all know what is the duty of Narada. He won't let his disciple go. But here Brahma took Shiva with him. So there was Brahma, Shiva, Indra and many sages to ashram of Narad Muni on the Gandmadana hill, just to convince Priyavrata to accept the position of king. Just to accept him, just to make him accept the Grahastha ashram. Just to make him understand that you should have children. And Brahmaji said, this is for the pleasure of the Lord you have to do this, because there is nobody to take care of the world. So we need a qualified king who can do this seva. So the position of king as an administrator is also service to the Lord. It has to be in that mood. So because Priyavrata accepted it as that mood, still he was a renounced person. He was not an entangled grahastha as we generally hear about. Though he was enjoying the kingdom, though he was having a wife, though he had 10 children, still he is in the renounced order of life. Because his mood, his consciousness was he was doing it on the instructions of his guru. He was doing it on the instructions of his father. He was doing it on the instruction of his grandfather, Brahmaji. So Brahma see from what kind of a family he was. And he didn't wanted to marry. He didn't wanted to rule the king. But because he was instructed by the authority to take up this as a service, so it worked well for him and he accepted the service. And we know that he did a very qualified job and he ruled the kingdom very nicely, always meditating on the Lord. And that is real renunciation. So true renunciation is to perform our natural inclination in loving service of God. So if somebody is an accountant, if he is doing the service of the accountant as a service to the Lord, he is perfect. If somebody is doing bookkeeping in the store, if he is doing for the pleasure of the Lord, samsiddhim haritoshanam. So the consciousness is what matters here. No service is big or small. If somebody is sweeping, Prabhupada gives this example, if somebody is sweeping the floor sincerely, he is better than a brāhmaṇa who is worshipping the Lord for some name and fame. So what matters is your consciousness. It's not about big service or small service, nothing like that. If we are hankering for frontline things, that is detrimental to our Krishna consciousness. That is detrimental to our consciousness. So we should be trying to be serving as the servant of the servant, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Servant, one who is servant of the servant is a better devotee. Krishna acknowledges them better. Krishna like to be with such devotees better. So if we discuss who is better, Naradji or Shivji? Shivji is a grahastha, Naradji is a sannyasi. Who is better? Nobody can tell. Even judging would be a very wrong thing to do, right? Who is better? Bhishma is better or Brahmaji is better? We cannot judge. The ashram is not what is important. What is important is what was their consciousness with the activities they were performing. So the whole purpose of varnashram is to make us understand that we do things which are favorable and give up things which are unfavorable in Krishna consciousness. That is the purpose of this varnashram. There is no other purpose. Categorization is not to make us feel that we are somebody superior or somebody is inferior. It is not that. That is not the purpose. We have to be cooperatively working and serving for the pleasure of the Lord. So one who understands this principle, he even sees all species as the servant of the Lord. He will not interfere in the other species also. Pandita samadarshinaha. So that is common in all these varna. It's not that only Brahman knows this. It's not that only Kshatriya knows this. Because their mood is to serve or to perform for the pleasure of the Lord, they are all thinking it like that. So according to our inclination, we should try to keep serving and categorize ourselves in whatever varna we are in. So now the challenge is, how will we do this? We have understood this principle, but how to work on this platform? Whatever your position of life is, we have to work for the pleasure of the Lord, but how to do this? So, tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya ubdekshanti te gnana gnanina tastadarshinaha. So we have to approach a bona fide spiritual master. That is the beginning of spiritual life. Unless and until we have a spiritual master to guide our actions, we cannot develop that mood of service. Pariprashnena sevaya. The whole objective is to serve. Previously Arjuna was trying to debate, with Krishna, that no, I won't fight. These are my family, my relatives, I can't kill them. But then, karpanya dosha upata svabhava, pruchhami tvam dharma sam. So he accepts Krishna as Guru. Please Gurudev, give me instruction. From there, his real function started as a Kshatriya. He could understand the purpose of his Varna. What is the purpose of his Varna? He got that consciousness. And Arjuna is just an instrument. Arjuna was, none of us here is as intelligent and as devoted as Krishna, as Arjuna. But Arjuna was used as an instrument by Krishna to educate us. And right in this 4th chapter, the reason of appearance of the Lord, why Krishna appeared, and after this they explain the janma karma chamediyam, why we have to learn the activities of the Lord, karma of the Lord, and now they are teaching us guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ. So this varna ashram is one of the main important principles which Krishna appeared to establish because it was lost. It is very, very important. So Srila Prabhupada also wanted this, our founder Acharya. He said, whether you are living in the palace or you are living under the tree is not important. But so far you are serving Krishna, your consciousness is Krishna conscious. So the whole purpose of this Varnashram principle is to engage us in the activities prescribed in the Shastras. Today, because this activity of a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Śūdra as described in the Bhagavad Gita are not followed. That is why it is a deviated version of Varnashram what we see today. So when we establish our communities, community living, there we have to accept this principle where there is a Vaiṣṇava Brahman, a Vaiṣṇava Kshatriya, a Vaiṣṇava Vaishya and a Vaiṣṇava Śūdra, because they are all working for the pleasure of the Lord. Their consciousness, as is written by Srila Prabhupada in the Purport, the purpose is to have a consciousness which is working for the pleasure of the Lord. So whatever we are doing is on the basis of the consciousness we are holding today. So by chanting of this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, we uplift our consciousness, wherein we come to a situation where we identify our real position. And what is our real position? Servant of the Lord. And being the servant of the Lord, whatever action we perform, in whatever varna we are in, is above varnashram. It is called Daiva Varnashram. So this is what Srila Prabhupada wanted to establish in our movement. Not a distinction. These Brahmins are better, administrators are poor, Vaiśyas are even poor. It's not like that. Because we are all Vaiṣṇavas. This is above this Varna and Ashram. So that is called Daiva Varnashram. Once that is established, the preaching will expand multifold. So we have to understand the whole crux of this shloka, that we have to try working on our consciousness, because Grahastha ashram, a brahmachari ashram, or a vanprastha or a sannyas, it's not that sannyas ashram is better than brahmachari ashram, or a grahastha ashram is not at all good for devotional services. It all depends on our consciousness. Like Priyavrat, most of the stories of Bhagavatam, if you will read, they were all grahasthas. But they were all renounced grahasthas. They were doing nothing for sense gratification. So I think this is what I wanted to communicate. We will end it here. We have some time, 5-10 minutes for question, answer, comments. Yes? Uh-huh. Yeah, because yam vapi smarana bhavam. This is what Bhagavad Gita says. What you are thinking, So Krishna looks everything internal. I might be, externally I might be looking like a devotee, tilak, dhoti, everything is good. But internally I am always condemning devotees. I am doing all the actions which I am not supposed to do. You see external, but Krishna sees internal. We are trained to look externally. But actually change has to come because we are spirit soul. On the soul level we have to change. Externally everybody is doing different duty. Like there was a mochi also, right? We have heard that story also. He was using that shaligram to fix up the shoes. He didn't know. And then when the shaligram, one Brahman came and took away the shaligram from that mochi. And then he was worshipping the shaligram, but they were not happy because he was just doing a ritualistic activity. But this mochi was chanting Git Govindam every day, doing that service. So the Lord wanted to come back there. So Krishna takes our consciousness, it takes our internal mood. This is a message that we are not promoting that everybody should become prostitute. That is not the message. But the message is Krishna looks our mood and consciousness. Bhavagrahi Janardana. But we are conditioned to think like this, that whatever we see, seeing is believing. But again, Shastra says seeing is believing is not correct principle. We accept in the words of the Vedic scriptures. Yes, bhakti is internal. We can't be promoting that I am chanting 64 rounds, I am chanting like Haridas Thakur. It won't work. It won't work. And there are so many innumerable examples where devotees who have been trying to, like gopis, because they were internal, they were not making a show off of their devotion. They were thinking that they are doing nothing for Krishna. That was their mood, despite they were serving incessantly, 24 hours. So Uddhava was sent to learn that. How my devotees are remembering me. So it is internal. Even though Krishna was not there. So what you are meditating on, like another example we had this, the two brahmacharis were crossing a river once. And one lady also wanted to cross. Right? But then he said, no, we cannot touch woman. No? But then one brahmachari helped that woman to cross the river, sitting on the shoulder. But then when they came, after crossing they went long ahead, the second village, third village, fourth village, and the brahmachari who resisted not to touch the girl asked him that you did a wrong action today. You were lifting the girl. He said, I was lifting the girl at that time, you are still lifting that girl. So even after the whole thing is over, he is still remembering about that girl. So the other person, the consciousness matters, this is the point. So from these examples, what we are trying to understand is, we have to work on reviving our consciousness. And we have to be Krishna conscious all the time. We have to do nothing for anything else. I mean, what can a servant think of otherwise? If I am a servant, I should just keep serving my master. If I think anything else, then it is detrimental. And Maya is very expert. She will make you feel that you are serving Krishna, but actually we are serving Maya most of the time. Because our consciousness is not that strong, not that purified. So this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the whole purpose is to cry, as Prabhupada says, that we are not interested in Krishna. Hey Radharani, please help us so that we get engaged in your service. Unless and until we cultivate this mood of serving Krishna, it is very, very difficult to develop taste in the holy name. It goes together. Chanting gives you desire to serve, and service gives you more desire to chant. So hearing and chanting, chanting and hearing and serving, this is a whole package. So if you are not connecting the dots, it won't work. It will take, because our consciousness will not change. Because you are chanting Krishna's name, but then you are doing something which you are not supposed to do. Like this Brahmana was complaining about that woman. We are not, the only thing we can do is complain about ourselves. So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says that सुबह झाड़ू से मारो और रात को जूते से मारो mind को. Because our enemy is our mind. Rest everything is just to give us a lesson that what we are supposed to do, what we are not supposed to do. But if we start complaining of those situations, then we are falling in the trap. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. This and which chapter? Chapter 3 is what? So, what is the question? No, this is about Krishna. He is talking about himself here, and that is, he is talking about us. In third 27, he is talking about us. Kartāram iti manyate. We think like that, but here Krishna is talking about himself. Huh? Yeah, okay, I understand now. So, yeah, it's a very good question. His question is, in third chapter 27 number shlok, it is said that we are not the doer. Prakrute kriyamanani, right? And here Krishna says that I am not the doer. Then who is the doer, right? This is your question, right? So, very good question actually. So, all I can understand is, when we do the material activities, then we are in the control of material nature. But Krishna has given us a free will. Free will is to practice Krishna consciousness. And when we practice Krishna consciousness, then we become free from the modes of material nature. Till the time, modes of material nature are making us do things. And they also make us feel that we are doing it. They make us feel that we are doing it. It is actually done by the modes of material nature. Like this diagram is there in the book Prakriti, which is a book Prakriti ke Niyam, this Katputli. Like a small child thinks that these dolls are dancing. But actually the dolls are not dancing. Somebody is making them dance. Similarly, we are made to dance. And here Krishna is non-doer in terms of varnashram principles. So he is above varnashram. He has nothing to do with this. But because we are enacting our roles on this bodily platform, not on the spiritual platform, we are in the control of material nature, and it makes us feel that we are doing the things. But the moment we are out of it, then we are just serving Krishna here and also in the Golok Dham, wherever Krishna is. Then we become free from that. I think I can only explain that. Yes. By being Krishna conscious. So vaiśyas should do an activity for the pleasure of the Lord. That is the whole principle. Today there are vaiśyas, there are people doing business, they are doing work, but they are not doing it for the pleasure of the Lord. So the principle is to do whatever we do should be for the pleasure of the Lord. Then he comes out of these modes. This is what in third chapter is explained. If you want to do karma yoga, whatever you do should be done for the pleasure of the Lord. We should not expect for results. If we expect for result, it is for sense gratification. But if we do it as a duty for the Lord, as a prescribed duty we have to do it, then you become free from the entanglement. We have to do something. Not doing is also entanglement. Doing nothing is also entanglement. If we decide I am in Vrindavan and I am retired now, it won't work. We have to be actively engaged in service. You might be talking to somebody about Krishna, you might be listening Krishna Katha every day, you might be chanting more, whatever you can do best, but you have to keep your mind engaged, because the moment it is free, it will be dragging you away from Krishna. But the problem with this is, the vaiśyas are not doing the work with a vaishya is supposed to do now. So, krishi goraksha vaṇiජ્યam vaishya karma svabhavajam. So it is all prescribed what we are supposed to do. So today Vaiśyas are doing unprescribed duties. So it is very difficult to be Krishna conscious in that position. So the first change that has to come is to do the prescribed duty, and the next step is to be doing it for the pleasure of the Lord. This is how it goes. But Srila Prabhupada mercifully gave us this principle of chanting so that we directly get connected to Krishna and then we dovetail our inclination in the service of the Lord. So if anybody is a good cook, he can cook for the Lord, no problem. He don't need to change what he knows. But here, if the Vaishya is doing it, but he keeps doing it out of passion, then he is not free. So just being, this is not enough. The whole purpose is to change our consciousness. I think Prabhupada writes one sentence like this. A person in Krishna consciousness, however, is above even the brāhmaṇas. We are not in this varna system if we are Krishna conscious. We are above that. But to reach there, we have to practice this. The prescribed duties has to be followed. Yes, so we already discussed that. Tad viddhi pranipatin. Only a guru can. So initially this Gurukul system was meant for that. The guru used to identify what the student is good for. He would identify his varna and engage him accordingly. But now it is all lost. So we need a guru who can do that. We never went to Gurukul, but now by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada we have access to bona fide gurus. So we should take their shelter, inquire from them, be submissive, try to serve. This is how we can deliver ourselves. Hare Krishna. So okay, we end it here. Thank you very much. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.